Yay! Are you so excited?
I'm so excited.
I know, me too. This has been a long time coming.
Yes, it has been.
Uh-huh.
I'm like nervous too a little.
Yeah, I know. It's really exciting. Um, while people are just joining, I was hoping that you could tell us a little bit about Twist Out Cancer for those that don't know. It's a program that I am just so inspired by, and I'd love for you to share a little bit with everybody.
Poor Kate,
Yeah.
you're just such a rock star. Thank you so much for doing this. You've been such a wonderful supporter of our work for the last years. Such a gift. So no, I started Twist back in 2011 after basal lymphoma, a rare blood cancer, and I just felt that, adult facing a rare type of cancer, that there were a lot being talked about, and there were plenty of organizations that were focused on research, but there was not a lot out there that was really focusing on the emotional impact of a cancer diagnosis, both on the individual, but also on the family, on the support system. There's sort of a ripple effect that happens, when someone is diagnosed. And so what I found is that when I was going through treatment, the creative helped cope and sort of grapple with what I was feeling. And it also allowed me to create unity. And it was a community that I was desperately needing at the time. And so Twist really started with a simple challenge, putting a call to action, asking people to join me on the dance floor and do the twist. Within a couple of days, we had a couple thousand people twisting out cancer. So it was like a very simple call to action. And when I finished treatment, started like kind of telling my story and getting people to join me on the dance floor and do the twist. Realized that felt good, but I wanted to do more with my story and with what I went through. And so now, 10 years later, I believe it's 10 years, Twist focuses on using the creative mechanism. So it's all about empowering people to cover their story, to get comfortable with it, to share it, and open up about it. Then, through the arts, it allows them to connect with other people. And so we've had this opportunity to be a part of Brush's, the main focus of what does match art will touch cancer. And over a 6-month period, the individual touched by cancer shares their story, been through or what they're going through, and the artist then creates of that person's journey with cancer. So that's what it's all about. And today we created based on what I've told you, what my story is, and it's such an honor to work with you and to be in the hot seat and to know what that experience is like. So I really am so grateful to you and to your friendship.
Yeah, it's just this last year has been a journey, and it's been really hard. We've talked a lot about people being locked down and in our houses, and it really mimicked the way that you felt when you were in treatment, being so immune compromised, not being able to be around other people. And so I'm really glad that we could connect this year. And I have to say, I have to tell everyone that when I broached the subject with you, do you remember what you told me?
No.
You said that you didn't want to take a spot from someone else, and that just speaks to the type of person you are, and how much you give and how much you connect. And I'm so honored to have worked with you the last year and get to know you during a really hard time.
Yes, totally. Saw me through pregnancy, birth,
Yeah.
midst
Yeah.
of and the adjustment into motherhood of 2 kids. Yeah, I mean, we kind of lived a lot.
Yeah. And you being a mother was such an inspiration to me, because so many women who have cancer are not able to have children, and to see someone who was able to get to the other side is also very empowering and inspiring. So yeah. So are we ready to open?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
have a couple boxes here, so I don't know what I'm supposed to.
Yeah, so for those that you don't know, Jenna, because Jenna's the CEO of the company, it was a little bit challenging to figure out her art reveal. Um, so the artwork was sent to her, and she's going to open it for the first time and see it. I've been working on it all summer, and we've been chatting, and and talking together, but she hasn't actually seen the artwork. So she's going to open the boxes. There's two of them. So
Does the order matter?
no, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. You ready?
yeah. I'm so excited.
Okay. Oh. All right. I'm gonna do this thicker one first. Hold on here. Ooh, so cool.
So when people are paired with each other to help tell their cancer story, we've had to be really. It's been hard trying to figure out how to see people in person, and we've just really moved to the virtual world. And so we really had to get creative about how to, share this today. So it's really exciting.
Oh wow. Did a very good job.
They did do a good job. There's so much suspense.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Mhm. And thank you guys so much for joining today. All my art besties are here. I
Oh,
talk with them almost every day. Oh.
forgot what I said in terms of pictures.
Yeah. You sent me a lot of really beautiful pictures.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how you do this. It's just awesome.
So when Jenna and I were starting to connect, I asked her to send me some photos of her cancer journey, um, so that we could help tell her story. And it's a really vulnerable place to be, to have gone through something so incredibly difficult and to share it with someone else. So I've been really honored.
I almost got it. Crazy to see myself like peeking through the cellophane, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This is a drawing of Jenna holding a stuffed animal in comfort, and when I saw this photo, I cried, because when you have cancer and you don't know if you're going to have children, um, it just really spoke to me. And the fact that Jenna is able to have her two beautiful girls now, I wanted to share and show, how much you've been through. I think it's really easy to kind of forget, we see you helping people every day. And
The crazy thing about this picture, I told you what was going on here, is that this was the moment after I was in remission. So I was at home and my dad was upstairs. We were just sort of waiting for a call from the doctor. I had gone in for a scan, and it was like after my third round, and pretty much at that point, I didn't know if if the treatment was working or not. And it was probably the most anxiety provoking scan that I had had, because it was going to determine whether or not I have a stem cell transplant or totally change treatment. And I remember I got off the phone with my oncologist. I ran and grabbed my dad and sat on the bed just crying and holding Big Bird. It was so ridiculous. It was never like a kid that loves stuffed animals, but then as an adult, while I was going through treatment, I found it really comforting, almost very, I mean, it's so childlike, really, 29 onto a Big Bird. But yeah, it was, so in this picture, it's like, there's an overwhelming sense of relief in this photo too, because I felt like my life was, like I had changed a chapter. It was starting a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, like, probably the most vulnerable moment in my entire journey.
Mm-hmm.
So
We've talked a lot about how when you have cancer, a part of you dies and you have to be reborn.
it's very true.
And so this is why I made multiple pieces, because you transition so much and you change so much. You're the same, but you're very different.
I'm gonna go grab a Kleenex.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, kid.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna answer some comments while. Let's see.
Wow.
Oh, so sweet. Oh, my hi Susan, my first art therapy supervisor, and now my very good friend is here. That's so nice. Thank you, Sarah. Nicole, thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming today. Many people in the program have to find different ways to share and do the reveal, and we never know how emotional it's going to be, so
Like, left field for me. It's like I've told my story so many times, right?
yeah.
And I've seen images many times, but to see it portrayed, I mean, also for me to think that you did that with that photo for as long as you did, I mean, it just says so much about you. That is a very hard photo to look at and to take on. I mean, it says so much about you, Kate. You're so willing to come on this journey with me and to hone in on some of the darkest moments of that experience for me. It's a real gift. It really is.
And it helped me to, when I was able to sit with your photos, it really made me feel closer to you and sit. I will never be able to understand what you went through, but it's just been a real honor. It's been such an honor. What an inspiration you are to me. So,
Thanks, Kate.
And, all the cancer warriors in the world, which are so many.
Yeah. Should we do another one?
Yeah.
I can't believe you did more than one here.
While she's opening the other box, or the other picture, I wanted to share a little bit about how I became involved with Twist Out Cancer. I was working on 2 portraits of a beautiful cancer survivor and my friend Marianne Duquette-Cuozo, and she and little announced to us did I know about this program, and someone that knew Marianne connected us, and Marianne and I were in the program last year together, and that's when I met Jenna and was just so taken aback by her story. And when I met Jenna, really what struck me was her ability to connect others. she has a social work, a background in social work, and so really bringing the psychosocial aspect to cancer. There's so many programs for cancer research, but to really hone in and support all of the mental health issues that come with having cancer and really losing such a huge part of yourself. And Twist Out Cancer offers art therapy groups, which is such a beautiful way to help other people process. I mean, art is such a healing modality. I don't have to convince people of that. So they really packed it good.
Dude, amazing. Ship this anywhere. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm so interested in how you chose this that you did. This is incredible. Oh, wow, I didn't even see the title. The first one you did was
the first one that you opened is called The Quiet Within. And then this one, we'll see in a minute. This is the one that I think this is the one that I did a sneak peek on my Instagram.
Says we're not done here.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy about this, that you chose this one, that this was the same day.
Yeah, I had no idea. When we're paired with cancer survivors, just as an artist, I really research the person that I'm working with, and I must have gone through your Facebook photos a million times, and this one kept on standing out to me. Both of these images.
Wow, I don't know how you do that.
So this is a charcoal drawing. It's titled "We're Not Done Here," and you have this elegant jewelry on, and you're just so powerful, and it's as if you're standing there saying, "I'm staying."
What's so crazy? Well, first of all, when you captured this like perfectly, it looks like a photograph, and it's not a photograph. I mean, I don't know how you do this, but what's crazy is that it was the same day. So the day that I got into remission, the day before I was about to start the next round of treatment, and
Wow.
getting a couple of friends together on a party drive, and had like 2 sips of champagne and celebrated that I was in remission. When I look at this, like you look at the image before, how vulnerable and
Right.
emotional. Here I look so much more like strong and fierce, and that all is within a day. I mean, if that doesn't sum up what it's like to have cancer, like the amount of different things put on in order for what we're enduring, it's pretty crazy. This is so cool, Kate.
Yeah, your beauty, your strength, and your beauty is just so, it's just so powerful to me. And I couldn't, I had a really hard time. I couldn't just do one because it just was so striking to me. It haunted me. And sometimes I see things and I have to make them.
Oh my gosh.
So
amazing. Absolutely amazing. I just can't believe you. It's, wow.
So this last, she's going to open one more. She's going to open another box, and this this next box, Jenna, unbeknownst to her, kind of worked on this with me. I had her husband take the reference photo for this piece. It was really fun. So he took photos of her and then she sent them to me. But there's a very large story about this one.
Kate, can you explain like what your process is like? I search. Well, because I'm just curious how it starts for you. I mean, I know obviously the kind of, after that, what happens?
Yeah, so whenever I paint or draw someone, I interview them, and I get to know them, and for we had started, working together for quite a while, but I try to help tell people stories the best that I can, and so when I work with people, it's really about connecting first and photographing. And we couldn't exactly photograph you, but I sent you some examples. And in the virtual realm, we have to really be creative about connection. And the beginning part of I always say that the beginning part of making the artwork is the hard work is the conceptualization. So getting to know the person and sitting in their shoes for a while, and the making the artwork is really the home run. It's the the last lap that you could run at a marathon. It's the fun part, and the hard part is really figuring out how to show someone's inner strength in a way that hopefully will make sense to them too.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a card on the back with if you want to see that too.
Can you see?
Oh. There's a little bit of a glare, but it's Jenna in front of a really beautiful sunset.
Wow. Hard. Oh. Oh my gosh. Amazing. That is just amazing. I mean, wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, again, this looks like a photograph. How are you doing this? What are you using in terms of material then? Like,
so this is an oil painting on an archival metal panel, but and the others were charcoal drawings. I just work hard.
I mean, the detail, it's like, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Well, you're easy to paint. You're pretty gorgeous inside and out. So.
Thank you. Kate, I'm just totally blown away. Totally blown away.
Can you tell us about the background?
The background in this?
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming it's the same as the picture in the back, correct?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So maybe I can show that. Are you okay with me showing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh.
So, Kate and I talked about a lot. We talked about cancer, but we also talked about other types of loss. And I'm just going to put this over here. Hold on a sec. I think, so this picture of Kate, which was a photograph taken by a really dear friend Michelle Kellner, who's an artist program for the last number of years.
And she's an amazing artist in person.
Yes, she is. She really. And this is my best friend, Annie. This is me in the middle, right after I finished. And then this is my other best friend, Casey. And, you know, I talked to Kate a lot about, you know, what it was like for me dealing with cancer, and then what the process of survivorship was like. I think one of the hardest parts of, in terms of grief, that I deal with now is that my best friend Casey, who in the graph is the only one facing the direct, passed away 3 years ago next weekend by suicide. And she was a primary caregiver. And it's a unbelievably hard thing for me to feel that someone who was so giving to me and was there for me through illness, that I didn't feel like I was able to reciprocate in the same way for her. And so a big part of what I have to manage now is recognizing, I think, how challenging the role of caregiver can be. It's really like the unspoken hero. And that's a loss that I feel every day. I miss her terribly, and was so a part of my journey. And I just wish that I could have been there for her in a deeper way, helping her through her illness. So to have, you know, yourself healthy and resilient, good, but in the back having sort of sunset, which was such a beautiful memory that the three of us shared together, the three best friends that were best friends from childhood. It was this is an image that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you. You've been very helpful in processing that, in coming to better terms with it, and finding a way to heal.
It's really been an honor, Jenna. And, you know, I've loved our conversations about how she lives on through you and the work that you do. And, you know, I think there were so many things that she gave you while you were sick and getting better, and it's such a huge part of who you are now, and she lives on through you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. I actually I interviewed Michelle, who was the person who took the photos, and talked with her and thanked her because she was the person who donated the paintings to Marianne from last year. And those are the types of connections that are made through Brushes with Cancer and Twist Out Cancer, and connecting in a year where was so much connection lost. You know, you're really, you know, you've really done a beautiful thing here.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I know she would be so proud.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Oh.
I guess we didn't realize how emotional it would be.
I know. And we're supposed to do an interview with Kobe next, right?
Yeah.
For filming. Let me just show everyone the images together. I don't know if you can see.
So there's two framed drawings and then the painting. Yeah.
Thank you, Kate.
It's been such an honor, Jenna.
The honor has been mine, truly. You know, it's crazy. Like 10 years have gone by, and you think, you know, that you're so far ahead of where you've been. And I am. I mean, I have come to terms with so much, but it's amazing how it just takes like something, you know, like an image to like set you, not set you back, but to bring it up. It's healthy.
Mhm.
It's important to be able
Yeah.
to express those feelings because it just reminds you that you're here and that you're alive. I mean, that's the truth. I'd be nervous if I saw something like that and I wasn't overwhelmed with emotion, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And
Thank.
that's why I painted the last one with vibrant color, and I was so excited that you sent me the photo with the bright shirt because you talked a lot about hypercolor and how you know it was like you were seeing life for the first time again when you were getting better, and uh, I really wanted to show something with that was vibrant because to to show that expression that you've expressed.
Mm, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So is there anything else you want to add before we
No, just that I'm so grateful to you. I
no sister?
and I think it, if anything, like in sitting in the hot seat 10 years later, it just shows you how healing even 10 years is still possible and necessary. That remember when I finished treatment and I had kept this blog, there was a guy that came up to me and said, now that you're in remission, you're going to stop writing. And it really bothered me because it like he was calling the shots on when my story would start and stop. And I
Mhm.
think for me, healing constant and is there's no shame in continuing to talk and want to sort of reconcile the things in your past. And so it says a lot that here I am like, our 10th anniversary
Mhm.
and the feeling
Absolutely.
fresh and that there was still a lot of healing to be done. And I'm just so grateful for your friend and for you taking the time to really get to know my story and who I am and what we're about. So thank you, Kate.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And we've talked about this, but with the near-death experience, you can't. With time, I'm sure that it gets easy. It can get easier, but it's changed you. It's changed your core. It's changed, who you are and in the world, and it deserves to be recognized and given strength at any duration of the remission process for people. So,
Cool.
can you tell us where we can find Twist Out Cancer? But
Yeah, twistoutcancer.org. Come visit us, get involved. If you've been touched by cancer as a survivor, as someone that's those three words, you have cancer, previvor, someone genetically predisposed to cancer, or a caregiver, we'd love to have you in one of our Brushes with programs. We're actually running virtual events coming up in the Northeast region where Kate will be honored on October 10th. For those of you living in the Philly area, we have an amazing exhibition where you'll be able to see the art in real life at Old City Jewish Art Center in the Old City part of Philadelphia. And then November 14th in Chicago, where it all started, celebrating your anniversary, you can come to Floating World Gallery from November 14th to 17th, see the art there. And we have a virtual exhibition and celebration taking place on the 14th too. And all that information is on our website. But just get involved, stay in touch, reach out to us, spread the word. Arts are really powerful and encourage you to join us. Thank you. Thank you.
okay, Jenna and I have to hop on to another meeting. It's a busy day.
Clear up
So I'll
after.
see you in a little bit. Thank you so much, Jenna.
Thanks
And
for tuning in. Hi.
yeah, and thank you guys for coming and joining us.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
friends. I'll see you in a bit.
Sounds good.